What really excites me about the SEH is it's an incredible new upgrade to what we had before. Brand new labs, a lot of different new equipment all throughout the building.
The fact that you can walk by that building and see through the glass, right out in the open, science being done by our students and faculty, it's kind of breathtaking to imagine that something like that's happening right in our neighborhood.
And that's very exciting because that raises the level of interest. It raises the ability of students to come and go into research labs.
I work in Dr. Cynthia Dowd's lab, and the research is synthesizing new types of drugs to work against the proteasome in tuberculosis. I've always liked chemistry, so I knew I wanted to do some type of research. And I remember when I toured before I even came to GW, and they told us that this building would be ready by our spring semester junior year, I knew I wanted to come here because I'd have this brand new research facility, and I knew I wanted to do some type of research.
The facilities, we have a lot more room. So this means that we can engage more graduate students and undergraduate students in our work. Actually, we have 2 new undergraduate students that are starting in the lab this semester.
And it's critically important to be engaged from freshman year or sophomore year in research, because in my experience, that's when formative years and when students really start thinking, what do I do next when I get my bachelor degree in several years.
Participating in undergraduate research gives students a hands-on way to use what they've learned in the classroom at the bench to solve real-world problems.
SCH gives you much more room to do research. It's pretty hard to do it when you're competing for space, when you don't have the equipment you're going to need. Now we have better equipment, more access to different machines, different devices, and things that more students are going to be able to actually use.
We will have a nano fabrication facility specifically to teach students. This is very exciting because we recently were granted an award for the National Science Foundation to train and teach undergraduate students as early as the freshman year in this new unique training facility.
Of course, also state-of-the-art equipment which is available. In most medical schools or engineering schools, unfortunately, this is separated very rarely. The equipment which is used in the research laboratory is available for teaching and vice versa. So here actually it's all together, so we really can provide these opportunities to all students.
One of the biggest benefits of the SEH is the collaboration. And I've seen students that are sitting next to each other and say, oh, hey, I'm doing something kind of similar. Before they were all over campus. They may have never even met somebody. And now I see them sitting next to each other talking about their research.
When you walk down the hallway, you can actually see what's happening in the classroom. It's really exciting to see students engaged. And also labs are right next door.
Teaching and research is very close to each other in this building. We can have students come to our lab to see what the professors and the researchers are doing, so they have a better idea of their discipline, what are the unsolved problems.
Our students are going to have the opportunity to learn in such open and visible proximity to what our leading scholars are doing, not only in their own disciplines, but in other disciplines. I can't even imagine what possibilities for discovery and what degrees of excitement are going to be opened up by those kinds of opportunities.